Country News, Keith Urban. Did you know that Keith Urban was born on October 26, 1967 in Whangarei, Northland, New Zealand? He is the youngest son of Marianne and Robert "Bob" Aban Urbanski. At 2 years of age, Urban moved with his parents to Caboolture, Queensland in Australia. Expressing an early interest in music, at 4 he was given a ukulele, and at 6 he took up the guitar. From an early age, Urban's influences reflected the tastes of his parents, who enjoyed country music. His father owned a convenience store and put an ad for a guitar teacher in his shop window, which led to his taking guitar lessons from Sue McCarthy. He entered local competitions and acted in a local theater company. Urban has said that his guitar playing was influenced by 2 rock guitarists, Mark Knopfler, Dire Straits, and Lindsey Buckingham, Fleetwood Mac. In 1983, Urban was a contestant on the Australian TV talent show New Faces. A few years later, he began making inroads into the Australian country music scene, with regular appearances on the Reg Lindsay Country Homestead TV program, Mike McClellan's music program, and various other TV programs, performing duets with Jenny Wilson, a girl from Brisbane. They won a Golden Guitar Award at the Tamworth Country Music Festival. Urban also performed regularly on stage at the Northern Suburbs Country Music Club in Bald Hills, where he was a member. He was in a band called Kids Country, which performed during school holidays at various venues and made appearances on the Reg Lindsay Show and Conway Country. In 1990, Urban signed with EMI in Australia and released his self-titled debut album. He appeared on the 1990 compilation album Breaking Ground, New Directions in Country Music, which was nominated for the 1991 ARIA Award for Best Country Album. He toured as a backup act to Slim Dusty between 1993 and 1994. In the mid-1990s, both people recorded a reworked duet of Dusty's classic, Lights on the Hill. Urban appeared for the first time at the Grand Ole Opry backing Dusty. He also sang backing vocals on INXS's 1991 single, Shining Star. Urban moved to Nashville in 1992. The next year, he appeared in the music video for Alan Jackson's rendition of Mercury Blues. He and Vernon Rust co-wrote Jesus Gets Jealous of Santa Claus on Toby Keith's 1995 album Christmas to Christmas, Forerunner's 1996 single, That Was Him, This Is Now. He played guitar on Garth Brooks' album Double Live, Garth Brooks' album, and Tangled Up in Love on the Rabin Brothers' 1997 self-titled album. In 1997, he formed a band known as The Ranch, which included drummer Peter Clark and bassist Jerry Flowers. The Ranch released a self-titled album for Capitol Records Nashville and charted 2 singles on the Hot Country Songs charts that year, Walkin', The Country, and Just Some Love. Throughout the late 1990s, Urban also played guitar on several other artists' albums, such as Paul Jefferson, Tim Wilson, and Charlie Daniels. Urban released his self-titled American debut album in 1999 under the production of session pianist Matt Rollins. It was led by the number 18 single, It's a Love Thing, followed by the number 4 single, You're Everything, which made him the first male New Zealand performer to reach the top 10 on the US country charts. Its follow-up, But for the Grace of God, written by Charlotte Caffey and Jane Weedland of the Go-Go's, became his first number 1 hit on the charts. The last single, Where the Blacktop Ends, written by Steve Wariner and Alan Shamblin, went to number 3. He won the Top New Male Vocalist Award at the 2001 Academy of Country Music Awards and the 2001 Country Music Association's Horizon Award. AllMusic's Tom Jurek described the first and third singles favorably and praised the instrumental track Roller Coaster, saying that Urban was flat picking his Stratocaster like it was another extremity he was born with. He thought that those songs balanced the slick and sometimes too soft production on the record. Urban released a second American album, Golden Road, in 2002. Of the 13 songs included on this album, Urban produced 7 himself and co-produced the other 6 with Dan Huff. The album's lead-off single, Somebody Like You, was released in July 2002 and spent 6 weeks at number 1. The second single was the number 3 hit, Raining on Sunday, which Rodney Foster had previously released as a single from his 1998 album, See What You Wanna See. The third and fourth singles from the album, Who Wouldn't Wanna Be Me and You'll Think of Me, went to number 1, with the latter winning him the Grammy Award for Best Male Country Vocal Performance in 2005. In 2002, Urban posed nude for Playgirl. On The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, he said that he regretted posing nude despite not showing any full frontal nudity. In 2004, Urban performed Lights on the Hill at the Tamworth tribute concert following the death of Australian country singer Slim Dusty, an artist whom he had both written for and covered. In 2005, Urban performed in front of European audiences for the first time. In May, he supported Bryan Adams on his UK and Ireland tour, which included dates at Earl's Court, London, Scottish Exhibition and Conference Centre, Glasgow, and The Point, Dublin. On June 6, the UK-only album, Days Go By, was released. The album contains songs from both Be Here and Golden Road. On September 22, 2005, Urban's third studio album, Golden Road, was certified triple platinum for sales of 3 million copies. You Look Good in My Shirt was originally intended to be the fifth single from this album. Instead, Capitol chose to release Days Go By, the lead-off to his third American album, Be Here. By late 2004, this song became Urban's fifth number 1 hit on the country chart. Although it was not officially released, You Look Good in My Shirt spent 1 week at number 60 on the country charts in July 2004 and remained a fan favorite. The next single from this album was the number 2, You're My Better Half, followed by the 5-week number 1, Making Memories of Us, which was written by Rodney Crowell and previously recorded by both Tracy Byrd and Crowell's side project The Notorious Cherry Bombs. The next singles from this album were Better Life and Tonight I Wanna Cry. The former, which Urban wrote with Richard Marx, spent 6 weeks at number 1, and the latter spent 3 weeks at number 2. After the song, Live to Love Another Day spent 14 weeks on the country chart, reaching a peak of number 48, although it was never officially released as a single. On August 21, 2006, Urban's Once in a Lifetime debuted at number 17, setting what was then a new record for the highest debuting country single in the 62-year history of the Hot Country Songs chart. Despite the high debut, the song peaked at number 6. Following it was Stupid Boy, which was co-written by Sarah Buxton, went to number 3, and won him his second Grammy Award for Best Male Country Vocal Performance in 2007. The album's next 2 singles, I Told You So and Everybody, respectively peaked at numbers 2 and 5. Urban released his first Greatest Hits collection, Greatest Hits, 18 Kids, on November 20, 2007. The compilation contains all of his top 10 hits, along with 2 new songs, Got It Right This Time, The Celebration, and a cover of Steve Forbert's Romeo's Tune. In January 2008, Urban embarked on the Love, Pain, and the Whole Crazy Carnival Ride World Tour with fellow country singer Carrie Underwood. In early May 2008, Urban debuted a new song at the Grand Ole Opry titled A New Sunshine. That same month, Urban recorded a new version of You Look Good in My Shirt and released it as a single in June of that year. Over the years, You Look Good in My Shirt has always played like a hit song, Urban said. That, combined with numerous requests from both fans and radio about why it was never a single, inspired us to get back into the studio and re-record the song. The single was a precursor to the Love, Pain, and the Whole Crazy World Tour concert DVD release in the fall of 2008. Later that year, Urban served as a duet artist for Brad Paisley's single, Start a Band, on which both he and Paisley sang and played guitar. This song was included on Paisley's album Play, and it went to number 1 in January 2009. Urban announced that the lead single for his 5th studio album would be titled Sweet Thing. This song became his 10th number 1 hit. Capitol Records released the album, Defying Gravity, on March 31, 2009. The second single, Kiss a Girl, was released in March 2009. Urban performed the song on American Idol during the Season 8 finale as a duet with eventual winner Chris Allen. Only You Can Love Me This Way, the third single, went to number 1. The fourth single, Till Summer Comes Around, went to number 3. The fifth and final single, I'm In, is a cover of a song by Rodney Foster, taken from the same album as Raining on Sunday was. This song was also recorded by the Kinleys, whose version had been a top 40 single in 2000. Urban's rendition went to number 2. Between the two, Urban also made a guest appearance on then-label mate Emily West's single, Blue Sky, which charted at number 38. Urban's 2009 Escape Together tour, supporting the Defying Gravity album, featured many big-name opening acts, such as Taylor Swift, Sugarland, and Jason Aldean. On June 27, 2009, Urban filmed a video for the song, Only You Can Love Me This Way, at the Wells Fargo Arena in Des Moines, Iowa. In 2009, Urban was also a judge for the 8th Annual Independent Music Awards to support independent artists' careers. On May 13, 2013, Urban released the single, Little Bit of Everything, produced by Nathan Chapman. It was the first single from his 8th studio album, Fuse, which was released on September 10, 2013. The official music video for Little Bit of Everything debuted on Vivo on July 25, 2013. Unlike his previous albums, Urban co-produced with 10 other producers on this album. The album's second single, We Were Us, is a duet with Miranda Lambert. It reached number 1 on the country airplay chart in December 2013. The third single, Cop Car, was released in January 2014. A fourth single, Somewhere in My Car, was released in June 2014. A fifth single, a duet with Eric Church, Raise 'Em Up, was released to country radio on January 26, 2015. It reached number 1 on country airplay in May 2015. In June 2015, Urban released John Cougar, John Deere, John 3 verse 16 as the lead single to his 8th American studio album, Ripcord. In October 2015, Urban teased a new song called Break on Me. It was released to the public on October 23rd. It reached number 1 on the country airplay chart. On September 22, 2015, Urban celebrated the 10th anniversary of his 3rd studio album Golden Road being certified triple platinum for sales of 3 million copies of his record. Wasted Time was released as the album's 3rd single, and it went on to reach the number 1 spot on the country airplay chart. Blue Ain't Your Color was released as the album's 4th single and became a huge hit for Urban. It topped the Hot Country Songs chart as well as the country airplay chart, spending 12 weeks at number 1 on the former chart. The Fighter, a duet with Carrie Underwood, was released as the 5th single from the album. In 2016, Urban was selected as one of 30 artists to perform on Forever Country, a medley of Take Me Home, Country Roads, On the Road Again, and I Will Always Love You, which celebrates 50 years of the CMA Awards. On November 8, 2017, Urban released a new song titled Female, which has been described as an empowerment anthem partially inspired by the Harvey Weinstein scandal. Urban said that the song, as a husband and a father of 2 young girls, it affects me in a lot of ways. And as a son, my mother is alive, he added. It just speaks to all of the females in my life, particularly. For a guy who grew up with no sisters in a house of boys, it's incredible how now I'm surrounded by girls. But not only in my house, I employ a huge amount of women in my team. The song just hit me for so many reasons. Kidman provided background vocals on the song. The song was the lead single for Urban's 10th studio album. It was announced that Urban's 10th studio album would be titled Graffiti You, and that a world tour in support of it would begin in summer 2018. On January 19th, the Ed Sheeran co-written song, Parallel Line, was released as a single in Australia and the United Kingdom. On March 21st, Urban released the album's 2nd single, Coming Home, a heavily pop-influenced, upbeat song featuring a duet with pop singer Julia Michaels. This song also features a revamped version of the opening riff of Merle Haggard's hit, Mama Tried. Throughout it, and with his family's blessing, Haggard even received a posthumous credit for writing the song. Coming Home reached number 1 on the media-based country chart on August 5, 2018. As well as Julia Michaels, the album also features duets with Lindsay Ell, Shy Carter, and Cassie Ashton. Never Comin' Down was released to radio as the fourth single in August 2018. On May 16, 2019, Keith Urban released a brand new single, We Were, a reflective mid-tempo ode to mischievous youth. I like the idea that life just happens. At some point, whether in the moment or not, you just gotta go with it, he said. The track was co-written by Eric Church. On November 24, 2019, Urban played the halftime show at the Canadian Football League's Grey Cup Championship in Calgary. On February 27, 2020, Urban released the single, God Whispered Your Name, to country radio. The track was co-written by contemporary Christian artist Chris August. On April 24th, Urban released the single, Polaroid, to radio in Australia and the United Kingdom. In May 2020, Keith Urban hosted a drive-in concert for medical workers. His latest gig was mostly just him and two other musicians playing on a flatbed truck in front of about 125 cars. Urban played at the Stardust Drive-In Movie Theater, about 60 kilometers east of Nashville, Tennessee, for a crowd of more than 200 medical workers from Vanderbilt Health. Later in May 2020, Urban announced his 11th studio album, The Speed of Now Part 1, would be released on September 18, 2020. In July 2020, Urban released another promotional single, Superman, which was released to radio in Australia. Change Your Mind followed in August 2020. In the week prior to the album's release, Urban hosted the rescheduled 55th Academy of Country Music Awards and premiered the third North American single off the album, One Too Many with Pink, which would become Urban's first top 10 all-genre song in his homeland of Australia. In December 2020, Urban was listed at number 29 in Rolling Stone Australia's 50 Greatest Australian Artists of All Time issue. He is a featured artist on Taylor Swift's track, That's When, from Fearless, Taylor's version, Swift's first re-recorded studio album, which was released on April 9, 2021. That's When is one of 6, from The Vault, tracks that did not make the 2008 album. That year, he also collaborated with Amy Shark on Love Songs Ain't For Us, which also came out 2021. In August 2021, Urban released the single, Wild Hearts, which he followed up with the single Nightfalls in March 2022. In July 2022, Urban released the single Brown Eyes Baby, which was co-written by Morgan Wallen. He embarked on his headlining The Speed of Now World Tour in June 2022, with Ingrid Andress as his opening act. In October 2022, he released the single Street Called Maine. In 2024, Urban released the singles Straight Line and Messed Up As Me, and announced he will release his 12th studio album later in the year. On November 23, 2011, Urban was confirmed as one of the 4 vocal coaches in the Australian version of the reality singing competition The Voice, alongside Seal, Joel Madden, and Delta Goodrem. On September 14, 2012, Urban released a statement that he would not be signing back on for Season 2 and was replaced by Ricky Martin. On December 15, 2020, it was announced that Urban would return to The Voice Australia Season 10 for his second season, replacing Boy George, alongside Jessica Mauboy, Guy Sebastian, and Rita Ora. All judges returned for the 11th season in 2022. However, in October 2022, it was announced that Urban would not be returning to the Big Red Chair for the 12th season in 2023 due to his upcoming tour. The Fox Broadcasting Company officially announced on September 16, 2012 that Urban would replace Steven Tyler as a judge in Season 12 of American Idol alongside Randy Jackson, Mariah Carey, and Nicki Minaj. On August 1, 2013, it was officially confirmed that Urban would return as a judge for Season 13. He was joined by former Judge Jennifer Lopez and newest Judge Harry Connick Jr. on June 23, 2014. Fox announced that Urban would return to the judging panel for Season 14. Urban returned to judge the 15th season of American Idol in 2016. Urban features in the 2020 Australian documentary film Slim and I, directed by Kriv Stenders, talking about the influence on his life of acclaimed Australian country music husband and wife duo Slim Dusty and Joy McKean. The film features interviews and covers of McKean songs by acclaimed contemporary artists, including Urban, Lights on the Hill, Missy Higgins, Paul Kelly, and Troy Cassar-Daley. In October 2013, during a concert in Tampa, Florida, Urban announced that he would sell signature guitars and accessories through Home Shopping Network, HSN. HSN offered the guitar packages twice in 6 months, resulting in 42,000 sales. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Mr. Holland's Opus Foundation and the Grammy Foundation. Urban met Australian actress Nicole Kidman at Day LA, a Hollywood event promoting Australia, in January 2005, and they began dating 6 months later. They married on June 25, 2006 at the Cardinal Soretti Memorial Chapel in the grounds of St. Patrick's Estate, Manly in Sydney. On February 2, 2007, Urban filed a lawsuit against a New Jersey painter with the same name, who has a website called kateherban.com. Keith Urban, the singer, wanted to acquire the rights to the site. The painter countersued. The lawsuit was settled in the painter's favor. On January 7, 2008, Kidman said that she and Urban were expecting their first child together. Kidman's publicist said, "The couple are thrilled and cannot wait." Kidman gave birth to a daughter in 2008 in Nashville. On his website, Urban said, "Earlier this morning, Nick gave birth to our beautiful baby girl, Sunday Rose Kidman Urban. We want to thank everybody that has kept us in their thoughts and prayers. We feel very, very blessed and grateful that we can share this joy with all of my loving fans today." On December 28, 2010, Urban and Kidman had a second daughter, Faith Margaret Kidman Urban, by gestational surrogacy at Nashville's Centennial Women's Hospital. Thanks so much, Keith, for your contribution to country music.